Hey, welcome back to Beard Squared. In this video, I'm going to show you how I edit using the iPad from start to finish and what applications I use as well, okay? So I'm behind the camera, you can't see my face, but that's all right, you can see my other videos anyway. So here's the first thing I'm going to do. Unlock the iPad, of course, and then I'm going to take the memory card from the camera that I've been recording, all the footage for the video. And I need something like this, which is basically, what is it? It's a hub. It's a USB hub, and it's got a SD card reader. So I'm going to stick my SD card in here, and then I'm going to connect that to the drive. I'm going to connect that to the iPad. Okay, that's nicely connected there. Now all I need to do is go to the Files app, and then find. This is just telling me that I've connected a hub there. And then, of course, my drive, it should find here. So I've got my untitled. This is the SD card from the camera. And because it's a Sony camera, I need to go down to private, and then I need to go to M4 root, and then I need to go to clips. Okay, and then I'm going to select all the clips that I've got for this video that I'm going to be making, this tutorial. I press Shift on the keyboard, and then I can start selecting. I only need to press Shift once, and then now I can just select all the files that I need. Okay. I'm going to select all the files that I need here. The last one, it's 18 gig. I'm recording in 4K, yeah? So it's 18.14 gig. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on move, and I'm going to move these to LumaFusion into the user media. So look, if this was on my iPad, I'll click on iPad, I'll go down to LumaFusion, click on LumaFusion, and then I'll click on user media. Let's create another folder, and we'll call it Word 365 tutorial. Okay, let's press enter. So I want to save it all there. I'm going to copy it there. Now this is going to take an incredible time because one of the files is 18 gig and it's transferring off of my SD card. So I'm going to pause the video here. I'm not going to bore you. Let it just speed through all of this. There's 13 files that I'm copying through. So I'm going to pause the video here and I'll come back and pick up and tell you exactly how I'm going to be editing the rest of the video once the files have transferred and where they end up, okay? Okay, so now that the files have transferred, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of the Files app and I'm going to go straight to LumaFusion. And then as I load up LumaFusion, you'll see here, actually I've already started editing a project. This is the one that I've just done a split screen. Just an intro, I'm just doing a little intro here. What I'm going to do though, what I'm really interested in is, if you look up here, here's my folder that says Word 365 tutorial. And so if I click on that, I've got 13 files in here, and this is my main one. This is the one, this is my talking head, this is my A roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drag and drop this on my timeline. Can you see this part here? There's a part that's gone red. That's a blank clip. The reason I put a blank clip in there, so here, if I press on the keyboard, the up and down arrows, it goes to and fro the next clip, okay? So anyway, the reason I put a blank clip here is because my animation has a white background until a point where it sort of transitions into a green screen. So if I go back onto it, so this, I'm going to show you how to do green screen as well quickly. So if I click on this, all I've done was I double tapped there, yeah? So all I'm doing here is I'm double tapping the clip, or I can go to this pencil icon. Anyway, let's just go to the pencil icon. So here, if I go to the Chroma key, I'm under color and effects, and I'm on the Chroma key. If I just turn this eye off, you'll see that this is actually, what I've done also here is actually, if I go to the frame and fit, and I go to the blend mode, what I've done here is I've put a blend mode of luminosity here. So if this was on just normal, you can see that it's a green screen. I created a green background to obviously blend this into my video, yeah? So I'm gonna go back. I think what I found is that for me, the luminosity works the best. So I'm gonna stick with that, and then I'm gonna go to frame and fit, and I'm gonna put the green screen, the actual chroma key back on, yeah? And with the chroma key, I've just gone and done a green screen, okay? And I'll show you, I'm going to do a bit of an edit here. So let's get out of here. Now that I've dumped in this file is extremely long. This actual file here, the file's about 40 something minutes. The tutorial went on for way too long, okay, more than it should have. and unfortunately I'm gonna have to now go in and splice it. Now, as I'm here, I'm gonna quickly show you some of my B-roll shots are using the gimbal. So let's go to the next one very quickly. Let me see, is this something that I want? Okay, that is very smooth. I do like that. I could take that clip. In fact, if I just take some of that clip, so let's say for example, I took it from there to there, that's my in point and my out point, hold it and I drag it, I can drag it onto the second track here, okay? And now if you look back up here on that clip, you can see that a little bit of it is highlighted in yellow. So your mark in and mark out are highlighted. I don't actually want that there, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. And you can see here, this is my blank clip. How do you insert a blank clip? You just press on the add button, and then here you can do, of course, you can't add a blank clip in the middle of it. So if I press my arrow up or my arrow down, and I go to add, I can add another blank clip, okay? So it adds by default a 2-second blank clip. I don't want that blank clip, so I'm just gonna delete it. You can also highlight on anything and just press on delete from here, yeah? But I do want this blank clip. Okay, someone was asking me, hey dude, how do I add sentences and stuff? So how do I add sentences? How do I add text to this? I'm gonna quickly show you. If you press on the add button, then you can do an overlay title. So click on overlay title. This will give you an overlay title here, yeah? And then I could go ahead, let's just edit this. So double clicked on it, and then I'm gonna double click on the text, and then I can now edit this by saying something here, yeah? So I'm just gonna say word tutorial online, yeah? And press done. Anyway, so someone is asking, can I have multiple lines of text? Well, you can see here, I've got a one line on the track. I've got on track one, the main track, I've got one video file here. And so I can have another 5 text files. So let's just copy this. Here's my little copy button. Okay, that is copy and paste, or like duplicate. Yeah, it's a duplicate button. So I'm gonna duplicate here. Okay, 5 tracks of this text. Okay, duplicate it again. So far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I can have another one. You can have 6 layers basically, yeah? 6 different tracks. So I've got 6 tracks here, and I'm going to click this one. I'm going to change that to, let's take this, and of course you can double click on it and change the text here anyway, but I don't want to do that for now. Did I just go with red again? I already have a red here, don't I? Yeah. And then the last one, let's do, just keep it white. Okay, so you can see now I can add different layers. Someone said, can I have 8 different sentences? You can't have 8 different layers. You can have as many sentences as you like. You can't have, as long as they fit in the screen, but you can't have 8 different layers. So how do you add more sentences than just these ones? Okay, what it is, if I overlay these, okay, if I, for example, let me show you something, yeah? So if I go back into the second one and I just move it down a little bit, you can see, okay, that my original text, the red one's here, and then if I go on a little bit, look, the yellow one comes, and then if I carry on going a bit more, then I need to really move this for you in order for you to see what's going on here, yeah? So let me just move it up a little bit. Okay, so now I've got 3 sentences, yeah? And if I carry on, you'll see, let me just drag this out of the way as well. Just let me drag that there, for example. And then I'll just come up here and drag this one away as well. Put it down here. So, did you hear that car pass by? Okay, here we go, look. So you can see in total, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sentences, text inputs. But really, I can have all of them on one. I can have them all on one track. I don't need to have 5 different tracks for this, yeah? Unless you're bringing in different animations, different, you're saying different things. I'll show you how to do it then. I'm just gonna, actually, you know what? I would have deleted this. I would just go ahead and press delete. What you can do is you can hide each of these tracks, okay? So you can mute the track and you can hide it. So over here, if I just press on this eye, or if I cross the eye out, I'm hiding all of those tracks. So what I want is really, I just want to have one text track, and I'm going to show you how I can have multiple sentences, okay? So if I take this text, and here I can duplicate it. So just click on, can you see that there, yeah? So I'm going to duplicate it, and you know what? I'm going to duplicate it again, and I'm going to duplicate it again, I'm going to duplicate it again, and now I'm just going to move it, yeah? So here I'll move it. So each one of these, I'll move them out of the way. I think I've got, how many did I have? 5 duplications? There we go, look. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different, well, there's the same sentences here, but I could go in and I could change this, say, hey, how's it going? Yeah. And then press on done. And then I could change, like, you can edit each one, yeah? It's fine. One and change. Here's the thing then, there's a lot you can edit. You can change the font. So here I can choose a different font, choose a different color, choose a different outline, indentation, how it should look. Should it be to the left, should it be to the right, to the center, line spacing, you know, face color, edge color, shadow. You can do a whole load of things here. Now here's the thing, because that was all on one track, it's all gonna come on the same time, okay? So that's one thing that's why you might want to have different tracks of text. Okay, so look, so you can see different, you know, texts are coming up at different times. So I'm going to get rid of all of those because I don't need any of them. I hope that answers the question that my colleague had about adding text layers to his video. You can have 5, if you've got one video track, then you can have 5 more text inputs. Okay, you can have 6 tracks in total, whether it's video, or it's pictures or images or whatever. For example, let me show you here. I'm going to go to photos. I'll go to my photos and video, and I just want to add this image on track 2, for example. Yeah. So now I've got that on track 2, and I've got this text on track 3. So I've got my video, and on top of my video, I've got my. Well, you know what I could do? I could click on it, go to frame and fit. Image. I'm just going to make it small myself, and now what I've got is I've got an image, picture in picture. So I've got my video playing, and then I've got that comes up, and now what I want to do is I want to edit this, maybe put it underneath here and change the size. Okay, I think maybe a bit bigger. No, here we go, and I can put that there. Okay. For it to match, I think I'll go with yellow and blue. Yeah, that matches quite well now. So now look at this. So I'm talking here, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I better put that on mute. Let's come put this on mute. Okay, so I'm talking, blah, blah, blah. My picture in picture comes up, my title comes up, I'm talking about it. Let's make that a bit longer. Okay, here we go. So blah, 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 I'm talking. Picture comes up, and then my title comes up, I'm talking about it, da, 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 da. Hey, how's it going? And then, you know, so you can edit these videos as you want. Let me show you what I've got so far. Yeah, so basically I've got a music track here in track 2. I've got the audio for the main clip, and then I've also got audio here. And what you can do is you can mute the audio in each track as you like, okay? But I need that audio because what I've got is I've got 2 video files, and I've just cropped it. Let me show you how to crop as well since I'm on this. So I'm going to click on track 2 because that's the one I've cropped. So double tap and then go to frame and fit. Okay, and then if you go to croppings, cropping, and then you can see here that I've cropped this frame. Okay, you can do edge softness, you can do rounded corners. I use rounded corners a lot when I'm putting in a picture in picture. So let me show you that very quickly. So for example, let me go back to, I can pinch and zoom here, yeah? I'm gonna go back to this thumbnail. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it rounded corners. So for me to do that, I'm gonna double click on it, go to frame and fit, go to cropping. I'm not gonna crop anything, I don't wanna crop it. All I wanna do is give it rounded corners. So I'm gonna come in here and give it rounded corners. Okay, you can see, yeah, corner radius. I've made it, you know, given it a corner radius of 20, whatever the units are. And now you can see, oh, look how beautiful that looks. Look how clean that looks, yeah? If you leave this video just picking up that tip, that's a success right there, yeah? So let me just show you. Pretend that I've cut and spliced all of this stuff, okay? So I've gone here and I've cut it, and then, you know, I've cut here and I've taken this and I've deleted it. It's gonna edit a ripple, so that space that was between those 2 files is deleted it. Now, let's say that was a mistake. I didn't want to do that. You can always go back. So if I go back, it's brought back the deleted clip. And then if I press back again, it's undone the cut. and then if I press back again, it's going to undo this cut as well, yeah? And of course, if you've got a keyboard attached, you can do Control Z, okay? Control Z to undo. You know, pretend that all of my edit is done. I've added in the titles and, you know, picture in picture. I've done my transition. If you want a video on how I got this transition, how I made my own transition, just drop me a comment in the section below. Of course, I've done my sort of like my intro skit. I like doing these creative intro skits. Before I get into export, okay, that's the raw file that's come out of the camera. I might not necessarily like the color of it, okay? So what I would do is double click on it and go to color and effects, go to original, and then I will start manipulating some of these tools to do a slight color correction. And then color grade it as well, yeah? So for example, I might want to add a bit of contrast to this. Okay, if I just click this, I might want to add a bit of contrast. Maybe change the levels, the highlights a little bit. Okay, definitely add some vibrancy and some saturation. And then I might want to play with the colors here, yeah? So for example, take away the red a little bit. Maybe add a bit of blue. This is just, it's really raw bone of just trying to show you what I would do. That's not, you know, I'm not particularly happy with that. There are also LUTs that you can pre-install and then select some of them. LumaFusion adds a lot of LUTs. Here, look, I can add that LUT in. Okay, that's what the LUT looks like. I can turn it on and off. I don't particularly like that LUT. That's not doing it for me. I'm just going to delete that. It don't take forever. I mean, I could color grade this maybe in 3 minutes, you know, 3 to 5 minutes. I could color grade it. It's something that I'm happy with. But it does take a fine tuning, you know, a bit of finesse and a bit of fine tuning for you to sit close to the iPad and, you know, pull out the pen and really tweak some of these sliders to get exactly what I want. So I'm just going to delete these for now. Okay, I'm going to delete that and I'll come back to that. Let's just say I have done all the color correction, color grading. I've cut and, you know, cut and deleted all of the things that I didn't want, and now this is a done deal. Then what I would do is I will come down to this button here. This is my export button. Click on it. I will go to export movie and I will export it to photos. Some people export it straight to YouTube. I don't want to export it to YouTube because even though I'm exporting it to photos, I will review the file first before I upload it, because I might export it and then find that, oh, you know what, there was that little bit that I want to sort of tweak, and I'll go back into LumaFusion, I'll tweak it, edit it while I'm watching it back, and then I'll export it to photos again, and then finally from the YouTube app, I'll upload it to YouTube. So anyway, let's go to photos here. My settings here are for 4K, okay. 3840 by 2160, and it's basically 4K. It's shot in 24 frames, and the quality here I'm saying 75 megabits per second. I can go up to extreme and ultra. I'm not going to bother. I don't think the camera even records at 150 megabits per second. It records at 100. I'm going to stick to quality here. Audio quality is at 48 kilohertz, and then the video codec is H.264. You can do H.265. I'm going to leave it with the H.264, and then I'm just going to basically go ahead and export. Now I'm not going to export this because this particular video isn't edited to my liking, and the export size needed, okay, estimated space is 18 gig. That's because this raw file is 18 point something gig anyway, so I'm gonna have to splice it down. This 40-minute recording is gonna end up being maybe a 5 to 10 minute video. So you know, 75% of it goes to the trash, you know, because of course there's so many retakes and then edits, and then, you know, because I'm just recording the video straight through, I end up making a lot of mistakes, and then I'll go back and do another take, but I do it on the same video. So that's the gist of it. That's the gist of it. Let me put my camera on here, and so you can see me talking, because I don't want to turn the camera, I don't want to turn this camera around. So let's just put this camera on and go into portrait. Hey, there I am, okay? So I think that's the end of this tutorial really, and for the most part I wasn't going to do it. I just thought, because it's so raw, you know, it's just such a raw video. I tend to, you know, set up a few camera angles and do a bit of B-roll and really try to, you know, do you guys justice, because your time is valuable. Anyway, if you found any use from this video tutorial on how I edit, then please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing and turn on notifications. If you want me to do a more polished version, then comment in the section below and I'll do a more polished version. One of my colleagues, where's my phone? One of my colleagues was like, hey dude man, how do I add a title and how do I add 8 titles? I thought, listen, I'll just do a video to explain it. I did say to him, jump onto YouTube. There's so many tutorials on YouTube for LumaFusion and how to edit like a pro. So check those out. Like I said, I hope this was helpful. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.